Hello, and welcome to Mid-American Gardener, the show where you bring us questions and our panel of experts try and answer those questions. It's things we do every day, so you can try and stump us, and we'll do our best to give answers to all those questions. I'm Shane Cultra. I am standing in for Diane Nolan today. I am the owner of Country Arbors Nursery and Cultra Nurseries, just part owner. There's a lot of other family members involved. But I answer questions all day. I kind of do the same thing we do here. I just do it 8 to 10 hours a day, 6 or 7 days a week. So I'll try and take that knowledge and bring it here today. But I also have a backup of a fantastic panel of great experts. We were already talking, there's some famous people among us, so we'll let them introduce themselves and you can decide whether they're famous or not. But we'll start out with Steve. Steve, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, well, I'm Steve Still. I'm a professor emeritus from the Ohio State University in Columbus, Ohio, and coming over to visit for this special show. And I'm also the executive director of the Perennial Plant Association.
And did you have a question for us this
I
evening
do have
well?
a show and tell.
Oh, a show and tell,
if
okay.
they will show. The Perennial Plant Association is a group of growers, retailers, landscape designers, educators that been in existence for about 32 years. And one of our programs that we have is the Perennial Plant of the Year. And on the screen now is the 25th year poster of the Perennial Plants of the Year. So garden centers, for example, may use this poster to put a display of the perennial plants that are useful for the industry. The members of our association select those plants, and it's based on good flowering or good foliage features through the year, relatively easy to propagate and available to the trade, low maintenance, relatively few insects or diseases. So we've had a 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25-year poster. Later on, I'd like to talk about the program, the Perennial for 2014, and one for 2015.
Yeah, it's kind of the Bible of our industry. We as companies, we actually look to see what's been chosen in the future years, because whatever the PPA chooses is going to be a hot plant. Just they know that whatever's been taken that year is going to be probably one of the best-selling perennials. And if anybody ever has a question of what perennials to choose, you can look on that poster and you know you've got a winner all the way back.
That's right.
There's a lot of good plants on there. All right, well, thank you very much for coming over. We were just talking about that you have a book that a lot of us have read before, and we kind of did the old, the person. We've seen your book before, so we really appreciate you coming with us today. All right, and our next panelist, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you, Shane. My name is Kelly Alsop, and I am a horticulture educator. I serve Livingston, McLean, and Woodford counties. And today, I would like to talk about garlic. I think garlic is one of those great crops to grow. And it actually has a kind of a longer growth period. So you start in October like you would with planting flowering bulbs. You start maybe in the middle of October after it has frosted a little bit. You take apart the cloves. What we see here is hard neck garlic. If it were soft neck, it would have little tiny cloves in the middle, but you want to do the hard neck garlic. And you take apart the cloves and you plant them about 6 inches apart. And then the roots are going to start growing before the winter starts. And that's why you want to plant it in October, because you don't want too much vegetative growth before the cooling period. And it requires the cooling period to produce. So then in about March, you'll start to have what we call green garlic. And you can actually harvest it at that time also and chop it up on salads. But then you can go ahead and let it keep growing and keep maturing, and it'll start to flower. And those are called scapes. And those scapes actually can be made into stuff like pesto and used in salads also. And then around July, you're actually going to harvest it. On the screen right now, you see the root growth that goes into the winter. That's what it's going to look like. And then in that right here, you see the flowering scapes. This is actually what people go through and they harvest, and they can make pesto out of it, and it's absolutely very delicious. And then this is the green garlic. You see the picture of the green garlic. That would be when you would harvest it in March. And then about July, when the lower leaves start to brown, you're going to actually harvest the bulbs of garlic. And if you've been to any farmers markets this year and bought any fresh garlic, you know that this tastes so much better than anything you can buy in the grocery store. So, think about adding garlic to your garden this year.
And if you harvest it in July, but you don't plant it till October, what do you do with it in the meantime?
That is right. You can bunch them, and then you can store them in your dry, cool place, and let them dry out. And that's how you would save them.
Yeah, because that's one thing I haven't grown, but my wife loves garlic. I can kind of tell when she's gotten into it at lunch, but so it's not my favorite. But I know that she'd be a big fan if I'd plant some garlic.
Oh yes, you can. Just by opening these cloves up, I can tell that it's much more potent than the normal garlic in the store.
Great information. I appreciate it. Well, we still have another expert here, and we actually just met today. So, Rusty, go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody else.
Sure. My name is Rusty Maulding. I am a horticulturist and partner for Nature's View. My wife and I own the small landscape company out of Watseka, Illinois. And today I have an email I'd like to share with you. We had a viewer write in and whose neighbor apparently had told him many years ago that he had an arborvitae planted in their common row. And he's questioning whether or not that's true because he's a very astute gardener and noticed that he had cedar apple rust coming onto his plant, his evergreen. Cedar apple rust actually requires two hosts. An evergreen, juniper, is one part of the life cycle. The other part of the life cycle happens on typically crab apples or apple trees, things like that. So to tell the two apart, I stopped by the roadside and on my way here and picked up a couple of different samples. So I'm going to start first with the arborvitae. The arborvitae has a very flat ranked scale. Typically are fairly dark green, but they may also be a myriad of different colors. Some of the arborvitae improved versions have more of a yellow tip to them, or they may be completely yellow. The upright versions of arborvitae are typically fairly narrow and upright. They can be anywhere from 30 feet tall on down to 10 feet tall. But if you'll notice, these leaves are very, very flat. They look just like a piece of paper. You can see, again, on this one, it's very, very one-dimensional, two-dimensional. And then he had also asked if you could tell the difference between the two of them with the cones or the fruits. This is an old fruit for the arborvitae. If you contrast that with a juniper berry, and I don't know if you can get in here tight enough, is very, very small. That's this little guy right there. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's very, very tiny. Juniper berries typically are more clustered, tend to be more bluish in color. And also, the foliage itself is sort of radial. It's much more all the way around. Now, if you have cedar apple rust on your plant, on your evergreen, it is a juniper. It is not an arborvitae.
And I always do maybe it says that I'm not a
Sniff
drinker, but the old Bacardi test
Yeah.
to tell if it smells a little bit like gin.
Little gin.
Yeah, and then
Yep.
you can tell too, because that definitely there's a totally different scent between the two.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's a good place to start when identifying. Those are probably two of the easier ones to tell apart. But
Don't ask me to tell you the difference between all the different junipers.
absolutely, or even arborvitaes will come and bring a piece
Yeah, right.
this big and ask for the difference between the variety of something this size. But at least you can tell those two apart.
Yep.
All right, well, before we get to more questions, we're going to go ahead and go to a Did You Know video.
The lotus was considered a sacred flower by ancient Egyptians and was used in burial rituals. This flower blooms in rivers and damp wetlands, but may lie dormant for years during times of drought, only to rise again with the return of water. Egyptians viewed it as a symbol of resurrection and eternal life.
Yeah, lotus flowers are some of the most beautiful ones in the pond. I always have trouble digging them up out of the pond and dividing them. You would think as prolific as they are within the pond, you could just dig one up and repot it, but it doesn't seem to be quite that easy.
Yeah.
So, but at $35 a plant, you do everything you can to try and figure out how to reproduce that plant. Well, I actually get to answer questions today as well, and I've got a question that was probably asked quite a bit this winter, but in a different manner. It says, I have a knockout rose that was planted in a whiskey barrel, and I want to locate it permanently, but I don't want to move it out of the whiskey barrel for the winter. Do I think it will live in a whiskey barrel over the winter? After last winter, I'm going to lean towards no. It was, but last winter was pretty harsh here in the state of Illinois, so it's not a normal winter. You possibly could get it to live. It needs to be, if it's a traditional whiskey barrel size, if it was out of the wind and maybe behind the porch and tucked in a little bit, or even wrapped with something to help protect it, mulched in, just some kind of protection to keep it as warm as possible, you may have a chance. My guess, it's going to be knocked back pretty hard in a pot with a rose.
It was a rough winter for roses. Man, they took it on the chin.
Yeah, it's
We experienced the same thing in Ohio.
yeah. It just if I had to answer one more, is it going to live question. Most of them died to the ground and then came back, but people have built their whole landscapes around 20 roses across the front, and they just looked rough. So it was a tough year for that. But I will also move it over to Stephen, and if you had another question today that you could answer.
I'm going to
you got
continue
more show
my,
and tell. That's right.
It's perennials, so we're going
That's
to have
right.
to keep
You're
moving
here.
on
It's
that.
all perennials.
But I'd like to show the 2014 perennial plant of the year, and that should be on the screen now for you. And it's Panicum virgatum northwind, or northwind switchgrass. And switchgrass is actually a native plant. Probably was here in the prairies of Illinois. Still should be if there's some virgin prairies left. But the really important feature about the northwind is its very erect type of habit. The straight species, or switchgrass, we might find, tends to be kind of a flopper sometimes, particularly if it's not out in real good full sun situation. But in this picture that you see on the screen now, it shows the early growth in this early summer before the flowering starts, and then it goes to the flowering you see on the screen now. Vertical feature. Long bloom, very few insect or any type of disease problems with this particular species. One of our nurseries in Pennsylvania had a trial of all different type of panicums and ornamental grasses, and when one of the hurricanes came through that eastern portion of the U.S., northwind was the only plant that was still erect after those winds came through. So that's a good feature for this particular plant.
Yeah, when I saw that it was the perennial plant of the year, I was kind of disappointed, because I felt like it was always our secret at the nursery, because it really is the tightest grass that we sell. It stays in a clump and it just gets a little bigger, and it's in the middle of winter. People are always looking for winter interest. Other grasses tend to flop or blow around the yard, and this thing is just standing there. And we have it all by our front sign and have for years, and we're just so proud of it. And then we thought, now everybody's going to know about our favorite grass.
And it does have a nice yellow golden fall color,
Yeah,
which we don't often see as well.
It's great for we use it to block. People in the winter are worried about blocking electrical boxes or things along the house, and that stays all season. And when you cut it down, it comes right back and blocks it again. So it really is. It's one of those that there was no doubt it deserved a plant of the year. It's one of the best grasses out there. All right, well, this is what we've been building up for all day here. We've been watching these things for 15 minutes, so I'm going to turn it over to the Cricket Carnival.
Okay, well,
Or grasshopper.
being a horticulture educator, I am always asked to do entomology type of programs. So I borrow these eastern lubber grasshoppers from Florida, from the Barenbaum lab on campus here. And they're so docile. They don't jump like our grasshoppers here in Illinois, because they're actually poisonous and they don't have any predators. So I take these into schools and I teach about the different characteristics of insects. The very pronounced 6 legs, and then I always tell the kids, if you were to step on this, what would it sound like? It would crunch, and that would be the exoskeleton. And then you can very much see the chewing mouth parts and the antenna. And then if you look on the sides of the abdomens, you can actually see the spiracles. And that's how insects breathe. They don't have lungs the way that we do. And so then I let the kids go around and, hold them all. And they actually, what's another interesting part about them is they have little suction pads and hooks on the bottom of their feet. And then I have
Got away from you.
another life cycle because, they're grasshoppers have incomplete life cycle versus complete life cycle like a butterfly, and they start off as an egg and then they turn into a nymph. So I have a nymph here also. The other very colorful ones are the adults. I have a female and a male. And then the way I can tell the difference between the female and the male is the female has a shovel on the end of her abdomen so she can dig down in the sand to lay her eggs, and the male does not, and he's much smaller. So can you imagine me going into your children's schools with these amazing insects? They absolutely love it, and then also adults love it too. And so I always have to say, as long as you don't eat them, they're not going to hurt you. They eat an abundance of lettuce and greens and whatever I can give them.
Yeah, that was my first question is, can I eat them? I'm a 45-year-old man, and I'm just like the 8-year-old boys in your classes that see them. They're fascinating.
And I do think we are, this one's actually trying to eat me. I do think we are, going to eat insects eventually in our lifetime. I would eat it if it was dipped in chocolate.
I was going to say, can we have chocolate on these?
Yeah,
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's what I said. I've been watching too many of those survival shows. When I saw it, I thought, how many days could that keep me alive? But since they're poisonous.
So if you yourself would like to see these beautiful, colorful grasshoppers, you can see them at the Insect Fear Film Festival put on by the entomology department at the University of Illinois.
Those are definitely fascinating. Definitely fascinating. The fact they don't ever jump, that's what's great about
And
this
they
thing.
have really small wings, so the wings really are incapable of really lifting this heavy body up. So they're just, they know that nothing's going to eat them.
But thank goodness they're from Florida. Because
Yes.
if that jumped on me in Illinois, I wouldn't be too excited. I'd be a little nervous.
Definitely.
Well, thanks for bringing those in.
Oh, you're welcome.
Rusty, yeah, I think you've got something for us, or you're getting ready to.
I-
You've got a question
Well,
again.
I could do these, but hell no, I'll stick with
Yeah.
the bur oak here. We had another an email that we got from somebody who noticed that they had Kermes scale, kind of like Kermit the Frog, but Kermes scale on a bur oak. Kermes scale is actually a very small. It's an armored scale, so they'll develop a sort of a shell or a covering over them as they age and as they become more mature adult. So what they wanted to know was, will the bitter cold spells that we've had take care of this problem, or does it have natural predators? Is there really an issue? Well, first of all, bur oaks are a great tree to have around. Oaks in general are a fantastic for our biodiversity in Illinois and in the Midwest. The number of life that depends on oak trees is really astounding. That they're home for, they provide shelter, they provide food, and there's all kinds of symbiotic relationships. So I'm glad that he's not just willy-nilly spraying the trees. One of the best times to take care of this problem is in early spring, right before the leaves come out. You can apply a dormant oil spray. Dormant oil is basically a waxy film that winds up being placed over the young insects and smothers them. It's a fantastic way of doing it. It doesn't harm the beneficial insects that are out there. There is another option, and in the fall you could apply something with imidacloprid as a soil drench, and that also will work. The tree will uptake the insecticide through the roots, and as the scale begin feeding again in the spring, that will also take care of them.
Yeah, the one thing I learned on dormant oil is no maples. People they use the dormant oil and they don't ever read the instructions. You shouldn't use it on red maples. So yeah, most people forget that, but
Yeah.
it can cause some damage if you're using it for that. But other than that, Dorminal is a nice, easy. You don't
low-
have to worry about hurting yourself.
Low toxicity,
Exactly.
friendly to you, friendly to the plants.
That's exactly what we're looking for. Well, I have a question, and I saw it on the screen a little earlier. It was a question about a ghost flower. And the reason I chose this question, ghost flower is really not hardy in the mid-American states. It's more of a tropical southern flower. So I'm not sure where our southern viewers coming up with this question. But the reason I chose it is I love the way they asked it. Is they've got a flower that won't go away. So here's what they did to get rid of it. They dug 2 feet down. They poured salt on it. They rounded it up. They put brush killer on it. They poured boiling water on it and then gasoline, and it wouldn't die. And I'm not familiar with this plant, but I would highly advise, I'd say 75% of what I heard, and if any plant that would not die from what just happened, I would move. Because that was, I don't think anything is going to grow there for 250 years. For what the salt alone is probably a generation of nothing growing. So again, I'm not familiar with the ghost plant. It looks beautiful. From what I understand, the 2 varieties, one is more fungal and grows with kind of a rotting wood or in that area. But so you would just need to change the moisture levels and get the rotting wood or the moisture. But don't do any of those. Don't do any of those things. If you need to kill maybe a little bit of, they also put plastic over it, and it grew up through the plastic. So that's quite a plant. And if you need to kill plants, maybe a little bit of each of those, but not all those together. So I just thought that was a pretty fun question. Somebody's really adamant about killing something. All right, we're going to go ahead and see if we can get through some more. Do you have more perennial stuff
I
for
have
us?
one more.
All
Yes,
right.
I'll give you a sneak preview for the 2015 perennial plant of the year.
right.
And it's a geranium. That's a hardy geranium. Now, some people may not realize that the geranium common names could go on several different species. The big pink and white and red selections that we have in the annual area for our hanging baskets and et cetera is actually a genus called Pelargonium. But the true geraniums, and this is Geranium Biocovo. It's a interspecific hybrid that's found in the Biocovo Mountains in Eastern Europe. Great spring flowering, usually in June in this area. Here it's combined with some boxwood in this example. And although the flowering period is short, 2 or 3 weeks, the great thing is the ground cover effect that you see on the screen now. Very effective, and actually in the fall you will get some reddish fall color on it as well. So about 6 inches tall, great ground cover, relatively low maintenance, and we're always looking for something that doesn't take a lot of time.
Yeah, again, that's one of our best sellers for many. That and Max Fry seem to be the 2 top sellers for us. And yeah, perfect ground cover. It'll stop at the border too. When it hits a brick, it generally doesn't jump into the yard too bad. But yeah, it's a perfect plant. I appreciate you sharing all that with us, and now we get to get jump on next year, so we know exactly what to be carrying in to buy. All right, we're going to try and squeeze in another email if you can, or another question if you've got one for us.
Okay. I have a question about butterfly bush, Buddleia, and about it dying back in the winter. And just the same as Shane answered about the knockout rose, the Buddleias also had died back this winter a little bit. So there was a little bit of winter damage on them for sure. But that takes me back. You can always prune back any of the winter damage in the spring, and new growth will flush out. But that takes me to another point about butterfly bush. It is a great plant for nectar for the adult butterflies, but it actually has some invasive qualities and can get out of control and could potentially threaten Illinois natural areas. I would rather encourage you to plant a different type of plant for butterflies. For instance, butterfly weed or other milkweed species, asters, or even goldenrods, or even the geranium that Stephen just talked about would all be better plants for Illinois butterflies than the actual butterfly bush, because those plants will support the adults but also can feed some of the larvae. So when you're thinking about butterfly gardening, you have to think about the other stages of the butterflies, not just the adults. And some of these other plants can support more species of those butterflies and moths.
Yeah, one that right now they don't know what it is Caryopteris. We're seeing lots, the Caryopteris is in full bloom. And so people are saying, I haven't seen that butterfly bush, but that's because they only know one thing, and that's a different kind of plant. Have you had any problems with that seeding, Caryopteris?
I absolutely love Caryopteris. I think it's a great fall bloomer.
Yeah, it's a little touchy on the zone. We do have a little bit of dieback on that here. I know Chicago really struggles with it, but in central Illinois, we're pretty good with it. But it's something else to think about, and it's blooming right when the butterflies are out. So. Well, again, thank you for coming this evening. It's nice meeting a couple of you. It's been another great show with a lot of good answers. Make sure to tune in next week and ask more questions. We'll give you more answers. Thank you.